Jonathan, welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you are new here. So I figured since I already just used the Metropolis palette, my lashes are on, I put in the work, I was like, I'm gonna film 2 videos. So we are gonna go ahead and jump in. This is gonna be my favorite bronzers, my favorite bronzer brushes as well. Just products that like, I feel like these are the cream of the crop in terms of what I love in a bronzer. So hopefully you guys like these types of videos. I know you guys recommended these, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe before we get started. And yeah, let's get into bronzers. They're one of my favorite products, for sure. Okay, so these are gonna be in no particular order. I wanted to do like a top 5 series, so, and then if there's not top 5, then I will let you know, but bronzers I can have an endless supply of. I really love bronzers. I know that like certain people are like, they're all the same color, but I don't feel like that. Like I use bronzers for different things and I love them. I have a problem. I have a problem with everything. But let's go ahead and see what I got here. So like I said, no particular order. We are just going to start off with mostly most used, I would say. These are like my most used bronzers that I can hands down recommend. So we are going to start with the Becca Sunlit Bronzers. These are some of my absolute favorites. I have a few shades. I always have like, not always, but there's quite a few where I buy duplicates if I really like the formula. Pretty much every single bronzer I have here obviously blends out well. I will say that these ones are definitely pigmented. They don't take a lot of building up, but I have the shades Ipanema Sun and Maui Sunset. So obviously this one is more of like my everyday type bronzer. It's a lighter tone. But this bronzer, it has that reddish tone, so obviously gonna be good for deeper skin tones. But even on mine in the summertime only, I like to use this as kind of like a bronzer topper. Like it almost doubles as like a bronzer blush type thing, and I don't like blush a lot. So I actually have it layered on top of my bronzer today, and it doesn't leave like it doesn't look as red as it is in the pan, like on the skin. So I just do a very like light dusting when I just want a little bit of extra, but I'm not sure what I'm missing. So that is what the Maui Nights looks like, but I never use it on its own. It's just kind of like a topper bronzer, which I know is very, I was like, what's the right word I'm trying to use here? Like ridiculous. But I wasn't gonna use that strong of a word. But this one is Ipanema Sun, but I absolutely love these bronzers. I feel like they're a great formula. They work well. These ones and the next one I'm gonna mention are probably the cheapest ones. I don't have a lot of cheap bronzers. I love the Alexis Ren ColourPop one, but it's not available anymore. But I haven't found any bronzers at the drugstore that I'm absolutely loving right now. So I'm playing with the Flower Beauty, but it's not enough to say that it's a favorite yet. I just got it like a little over a month ago, and I wanna be honest. So next up, I'm sure those of you who watch me can guess that I absolutely love the Fenty bronzers. Like I have 3 shades. It's ridiculous. A lot of people will say like Caramel Cutie looks way too dark for me, but it's actually been the one I've been using probably for the last 2 months. And then when I want a lighter day, then I'll use Beijing Gal and Island Ting. So these are the 2. This is Caramel Cutie, and then this one is Island Ting. We'll do swatches for you guys. But Caramel Cutie, I feel like is good for my skin tone. I know it looks deep, but it diffuses pretty light. And I think especially right now with like my summer tan, that it works out really well. So it just depends on the day and what I'm using, but this is the lighter shade in Island Ting, and then this is the Caramel Cutie, which I really, really like. I would say right now, like this has been my most consistently used bronzer over the past few months. All right, and then the next one, I bought this maybe 5-6 months ago. It's been a day, guys. I'm really hungry. More than anything else, I got so busy that like, I used to be like, how do people get too busy to eat? And lately it's been me, and I'm just like, I need to eat some food. So this next one is Ritual from Laura Mercier. I feel like it's unique in the way it looks. Like it has like little tiny, like you guys can see like a little rose flecks. So it's almost like more of a, it says baked blush bronzer, which is exactly what it is. I like that because again, I don't like to use blush that much. So or I just use such a light hand. So this kind of doubles for me as both. But once you swirl all together, it's not like those flecks make it into a rosy like shade. It's pretty unique on its own. I know it's hard to tell from swatches, but I absolutely love this one. So Ritual from Laura Mercier, and this is a baked formula. I don't believe the other ones are baked. Do I notice a difference between the baked and the non-baked on my face? No. But I really, really like this formula. Super easy to use. Everything pretty much is easy to use and build up for sure. I would say off the bat, these are the most pigmented, the Becca ones, whereas the rest you kind of have to build up, which I prefer. That way you're not just like, you know, like everyone's had that moment, you know, where you put on too much, especially me, because when I'm in the studio lighting, it doesn't look like I have enough on. So I feel like I have to like layer it on, and then I'll get done. I still feel like I didn't put enough on when I'm editing. And then when I'm like done with my makeup, I'm just like, my gosh, bronzer, holy bronzer. It's a lot. All right, my next one. So I love the Hourglass formula. They are expensive, but I feel like they look, if you are just looking for a natural one, these are so nice. I don't like a lot of shimmer in my bronzers, but I don't mind this one. So I actually have Luminous Bronze Light. Sometimes I'll layer this on top of another one just for the luminosity, if I'm going that way. It is pretty pale for me, for sure. Like, I don't even know if you guys can see that swatch. So that's why I kind of use it more as a layering one. And then I did just pick up the deeper shade. So I can't really speak to if I like this one on its own yet, but this is what it looks like together. So this is the one I use more, and this one is the one I haven't really used yet. So I need to use it. I was really mad at myself when I found this data, and I was like, you have that? That's when you know you have a serious problem. Okay, so I will be using that on camera soon, because I was like, oh my gosh, what? The last bronzer I have is no surprise. I feel like this bronzer is like so hyped. I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to repurchase this one, but it is a very, very well loved. And what I like about this one is it's pretty light in the pan, but you can build it up. This is more of like my winter bronzer. I love, it smells good. It smells really good. It smells like coconuts. It looks, like I said, light, but it works in a really big variety of skin tones, I found. So I do have to build it quite a bit, but it's a cooler tone bronzer compared to like warmer tones, which is what I usually go for. So you almost can't see it right now. I am tan right now from Mexico, so that is why you can't see it. But this one is one where you can't go too far. You can really pack it on, and it's not gonna, like, you're never gonna be like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like, so I like that the pan size is really big. You can really get your brush in there. It is expensive though. This one and I almost thought like this was my most expensive one, but the Hourglass ones are very pricey. I do think they are worth the money though, especially I would say if you're more mature skin, I would go with like any of the Hourglass products. I feel like are the best, just my opinion. So there are those. Okay, and then I wanted to talk about some bronzer brushes. So I really do think like the brushes this year have really come out to me as like being something I almost get more excited for than makeup. I really want to buy more Sonia G brushes. She is coming out with a new face set, but I feel like I would rather pay for individual ones. I don't need a full face set, especially because it doesn't come with a foundation brush. So I'm kind of like, ugh, like the lady from Beautylish like texted me. She's like, do you want to pre-order? And I'm just like, $270. No. Because I just, yeah, I'm going to wait on that. But I will probably buy them as individuals. I'm waiting for her. She said she's coming out with another set in the blue handles, but with new eye ones. And those I will collect any day, all day. But I will say, hands down, this is my favorite bronzer brush. This is the Inoche brush. Hopefully I can say that right. I don't know how you say it. But this bronzer brush, it is the softest thing. It fits right through here. This one, it like gives you pigment right off the bat. Whereas her other brush, which is the Sculpt One, it's nice because it can really get into the perimeters of your face. But what I will say, this diffuses a product. So if you maybe have a bronzer that's like too dark for you, I would try a brush like this because it gives you the lightest layer. You can build it over time, but again, it's that really soft brush. It deposits the product very nicely. It fits into the hug of your cheek. This is a little bit big for my cheek. I don't have a big face. But I highly recommend the Sonia G brushes. Out of the two, I definitely prefer this one. And then if something I'm a little nervous to go in with, I use the fan brush. Or if I'm just in a hurry, it just kind of depends on the day. Like a no makeup day, this one will do the job perfectly because I don't want a ton of pigment. Whereas if I want a lot, I will go in with this brush. But it is like, it's so nice. It's so nice. I'm gonna stop being creepy here. Okay, and then my other two options, I wanted to give you guys a few. I do have this Marc Jacobs brush, which I feel like was my first expensive brush. It is a very nice soft brush. It's very heavy. The only thing is this I only really use because it is so big. Like it's like, look at that. It covers my whole eyeball. I only use this if I'm in a very quick hurry and I just want to go crazy really, really fast. Other than that, you can't really get a precise application just because it is such a big brush. I mean, if you had a big face or a big forehead, you will love this. But yeah, I don't. So I don't regret buying it or anything, but it's definitely not as well loved as the other ones, but I still recommend it. And then I wanted to give you guys one affordable option. The Morphe brush. This one is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill. What brush is this? This is a JH02. Morphe does have one in the collection that's not a Jaclyn Hill one that pretty much looks the same. And I have that one somewhere. It ran away and grew legs. It was like, stop it. But this is actually pretty soft. It's definitely not, you can't compare it to Sonia G, okay? But you can still get a very nice application with this brush. So out of affordability wise, I wanted to give you guys at least one option where I was like, okay, it's affordable. I feel so informational in this video. Like I'm just like, but those are pretty much my top favorites. Like I said in the beginning though, just to recap, if you like matte bronzers, you're gonna love the Fenty, Marc Jacobs, whereas the other ones have a little bit of shimmer. I don't feel like any of them are overly shimmery by any means. You can't see the shimmer in the bronzer, but if you're looking for matte formulas, these two are gonna be your guys, whereas the other ones, they just kind of give you that little oomph, that little extra, you know? So I want to know what your guys' favorite bronzers are, what products you guys want to see me next do my top 5 of. If you want me to include the brush part, give me all the information possible. Let me know you like this video by hitting that thumbs up. And that is it from me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was kind of nice to just take a breather with all the new releases and talk about products that I actually use every day and that I can honestly say like have become my favorites. And yeah, it just feels nice. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.